Hey, 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 hey. What is going on, everyone? Welcome to another episode of Our Parents' Basement. I believe this is our 71st, or maybe it's our 72nd episode. I can't keep track. We have, thank you, Turf, our 71st episode. I cannot believe we have 71 episodes of this glorious podcast. I am so happy about that. Yes, welcome to another episode. We have a new topic for you tonight. It's going to be very interesting. It's because I don't know anything about it, and Charles doesn't know anything about it, and it should be a really informative, cool, fun, good time. As you know, I am Philip. I will be hosting for the evening. Well, scratch it. I will be starting off for the evening, but most of the evening will be given to someone else as we ask questions to this person. But along with myself tonight, we have Charles. And Charles, how are you doing tonight?
Doing all right. Surviving my first week of school.
Surviving school. You're back. So you're back in the swing of things, and
Yep.
things are going well so far. Yeah.
Yeah, doing 17 credit hours.
Good goddamn, that's a lot of credit hours for.
Yeah, one's a 6 credit hour pre-calculus class.
Well, I have faith in you, and I know everyone else has faith in you. You're going to kick this semester's ass, and yes, I expect good things from you, young man. So,
Thank you.
Yes. So glad to have you along. And the other person we have along with us tonight, who is a trooper, by the way, he is fighting a little bit of a fever, but he looks amazing, as always. We got Turf. His real name is Jason, but I call him Turf. And Turf, how are you feeling? You feeling okay?
Well, I'm alive. I'm all hopped up on Dayquil and Tussin, so the non-drowsy kind. I'm not that lean. I don't have that lean tonight, so. Yeah. Anyways, yeah, I'm here, man. I'm here. I'm pumped. I'm really excited about tonight. This is an episode I've really been looking forward to.
Awesome.
So let's just have at it, man.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Let's do it. Well, for those who don't know, last Sunday, last Sunday was the season finale of Game of Thrones. This is a show that is insanely popular. It started off as a book, and then I guess the book grew in such popularity that HBO took the rights to it and made a show out of it. The show has now surpassed how far along the books have gotten. So it is very, very popular. Everyone at work talks about it. A lot of my friends talk about it. And here on OPB, Turf is a huge Game of Thrones fan. And tonight on OPB, we're going to talk all things Game of Thrones. Later in the episode, there might be some spoilers, so just wanted to throw that out there. But for now, you know what? I'm just going to hand the floor to Turf. And Turf, what if for just a quick scenario, what is Game of Thrones for the noobs out there?
If you've been living under a rock and for the last 7 years and you don't know what Game of Thrones is, well, let me give you a little primer, a little introduction, if you will, to the world of political intrigue and swords and not sandals, boots and boobs and brothels and wine. And all the good things in life. Yeah, see, there's wine. There's something for everybody.
Right.
If you like boobs, awesome. If you like wine, it's for you.
Boobs, blades, booze.
Yep. There you go.
3B.
The 3 B's in life. Blades, boobs, and booze.
That's America.
By God, it's America. All right. Game of Thrones is based on a series of books by George R.R. Martin. It's called The Song of Fire and Ice. Excuse me, The Song of Ice and Fire. Sorry, I get that backwards every time. But it's pretty much the glory or the beauty of this thing. It started you off with more of the political intrigue, with more of the less fantasy and more like medieval Sopranos kind of thing. And then as we've gone on, there's been more and more fantasy introduced slowly, little by little, not to scare people off. So it's a very well done show. It's a very entertaining show. And no matter who you are or what kind of show you're into, if you're into, like I said, the boobs, or you're into the fighting, or you're into there's a lot of comedy in it. There's a lot of funny moments. It's obviously not a comedy, but
yeah,
there's a lot of funny moments. If you're into just whatever, man, the espionage type stuff. There's like a thriller. There's something for everybody in the show. So I'm going to take this time to try to convince everyone that hasn't watched it, like these two knuckleheads, that they need to take the time and enjoy Game of Thrones.
Well, Turf, the floor is yours. You got to convince us.
Okay. Well, I'll tell you what. I'm going to give you a little primer. This is the very beginning. This is how we're going to set this up for you to turn on episode 1.
Okay.
All right. There's a king. Of course, every medieval world is going to have the king. You got Robert Baratheon. He's a big burly fella. He took the throne by force. He's something called Robert's Rebellion. Him and the houses of Stark and Tully and Aaron, I believe, they started a rebellion and rebelled against the crown, and they took it by force and exiled all the Targaryens, the people that were the royalty. They are either killed or there's 2 more Targaryens off in exile. We'll get to them in a minute.
Okay.
So in the very first episode, Robert Baratheon, the new king, he goes and the hand of the king, his number 1 man, his sidekick, his well, not really sidekick, his right-hand man. They call him the hand of the king because he pretty much does the king's work while the king just enjoys life. So the hand of the king dies. So Robert heads north to the Stark's home, the family of Stark, their home at Winterfell, to go find Eddard Stark, which we all lovingly call Ned for some reason. I guess reasons. We call him Ned, not Ed. But anyways, we go find Ned Stark, and we want him to be a new hand of the king because he's our best friend. He's the one guy in the world that Robert Baratheon absolutely trusts. This is Sean Bean. If you've ever seen the gentleman, he's a wonderful actor.
Sean Bean. That sounds familiar.
Yeah, well, I can't remember what else. You would know him if you've seen him.
Okay.
He was definitely the most famous face in season 1. He was the known actor.
Yeah.
Going into season 1. So we're going to go up there. We're going to ask him to be hand the king. And then we're going to take little minor spoilers. This is all in episode 1. So this is like from the trailer. Ned Stark's 2 daughters go with him to King's Landing, which is the capital. And while he goes to be the hand of the king. One of the daughters is kind of a tomboy. She's not really wanting much of it. They're telling her, "Oh, you're going to be the lady of a high family one day, and you're going to be able to live in a castle and blah blah blah." And she's not, it's not me. That's not for me. But then that's Arya. Then there's Sansa. Sansa Stark. She has aspirations to be queen. She has eyes on the king's son, the prince. Says, you know what? It might be nice to be queen one day. So, and upon, through this, the king, and he says to Ned Stark, he said, "We need to join our houses. One day your daughter will be queen." So the plan is to have the daughter and son get married, and they're going to live happily ever after while the king does his thing. Well, things happen. Political things happen. Good old Ned is the good guy Ned. He goes sticking his nose in places they might not be, and things kind of go to hell for the Starks. And that's pretty much the basis of the show. The Starks, they're the good guys, and everybody takes a dump on them.
Aw, that's not very nice.
It's not nice. It's man, and this is just what's going on right here with these 2 families. This is just the initial thing. There's one of Ned has a bastard child, which he, in this world, apparently you can go off to war and come back with a baby and like, surprise, I've got a bastard. The lords of all these houses they have, it's not a big deal for them to go just F around and end up with these little bastard children. So he brings back this baby and raises him like, well, you're my bastard son. I'm going to make sure you have a spot at my table. But you don't have any rights to, land or anything like that. You're not really part of the family, but yeah, you're part of the family. So Jon Snow, this is Jon Snow. Okay. So Jon Snow takes off in this first episode, and he's going to go north with his uncle, Ned's brother. They're going to go north to the wall, to this thing that there's a 300-mile long structure called the Wall. It's made out of ice and rock and magic, maybe, possibly. it keeps the wildlings out, the people that live north of the wall, out in the land that's forever winter. You keep the wildlings, the crazy people out. And so that's what he's going to do. John's going to go north, and he's going to be part of the Night's Watch, which is the group of people that the company, I guess, that keeps the realm safe from everything up north. And I know this is a lot of stuff to take in, and this is just the first half hour of the show, and we're 67 episodes deep, so there's a lot of stuff going on. And then off in another part of the world called Essos, there's Viserys and Daenerys Targaryen, which they're the two exiled children from the king before Robert.
Okay,
they're out there, and Viserys he's trying to raise an army because he's going to come back and he wants to take the throne by force. So he marries off his lovely little daughter, Daenerys, to a, I guess, barbarian type fellow named Khal Drogo in exchange for his army. And that's kind of the primer. That's going to be the very beginning of what we're going to do. We've got these characters. We've got the Starks that are the good guys. We've got the Lannisters, which immediately, okay, episode season 1, episode 1, you get to see Jaime Lannister banging his sister, Cersei Lannister, that is the queen. The queen is banging her brother.
All right.
Yeah.
Well, interesting.
No. Yeah, that's and then, well, one of the Stark kids, because there's like 5 Stark kids. One of them climbs up the tower and just happens to notice that Jaime's railing his sister, or railing his own sister, the queen, and so good old Jaime Lannister throws Bran Stark out the window and breaks his back, and he can't use his legs anymore. So,
well, I mean, that's what you get for
you don't be peeping. Pardon me, y'all. Anyways, that's kind of the beginning. That's what as spoiler free as we can possibly be for the first 15 minutes. Have y'all got any questions or anything that you might like to know?
Yes, actually.
Well, tell me.
Well, a lot of people who watch this show, they always throw out the quip, "Winter is coming." What does that mean? Okay, well, in the land of ice and fire, in the Song of Ice and Fire, this is a mythical land where seasons can last years, and we have like 3 months is spring, 3 months is summer, 3 months is fall, 3 months is winter. Well, the Starks that's kind of their motto. They're always looking out towards the future, like they're preparing for the worst. It's like winter is coming. So that's where that comes from. That's kind of their house motto, is we need to prepare. We need to be ready. So that's kind of what that means when people say that. And like I said, these kids, the Stark children, were all born during the long winter, or the long summer. They're all born while it's been 15, 20 years of good weather, of summer. Yeah. And the long winter's coming, and winter may last, it may last 5 years. It may last 100 years. You never really know, just depending on whatever. Yeah. Reasons. They have George R. Martin. Okay. So there's no like rhyme or reason to the weather shifts. It's just that the seasons can last decades. That's pretty much the gist of it. The majority of the show, it started off at the end of the long summer. And the majority of it's been during the fall. They keep saying winter's coming. It's coming. So, and now where the show is now at the end of season 7, winter is here. So we're the beginning of the long winter. So that's what that means. That's when people say that, they're talking about the Starks they're looking towards the future. They're trying to prepare for the worst. Okay. So, how long is every episode? Because it sounds like there's a lot going on each every episode. For the first 6 seasons was roughly an hour. The last episode of season 7, episode 7 was 79 minutes. So it was long. So over an hour and a half, almost 2 hours. Wow. Less than an hour and a half, but less than an hour. Okay. Yeah. Math. Too much wine. But that's fine. There's no such thing as too much wine, sir. No. So, and they're claiming that for season 8, which will be the final season, we may be looking at hour-and-a-half episodes, maybe 2-hour episodes, which I'm perfectly down with. Do you think the author is going to continue with the books now that the show has been surpassed the books?
My personal opinion is George R.R. Martin will die before he finishes the Song of Ice and Fire.
Uber.
Well, just how it is,
I
man.
know.
He's been stuck on this for like 5 years. He's got the first, I think, 5 books written, and he's planning on being 7.
Okay.
Yeah, the show, I believe it's the first 5 seasons followed the books, and then season 6 was what started where it was the new territory. Now he's told the showrunners how he's going to end the books and kind of a loose outline of what's going to go on, but he hasn't actually finished the books himself. One of the reasons my little brother was going to join us tonight, but he had things to do. He's read all the books, and according to him, they're uber descriptive, just super insanely descriptive, and they're well written, they're engaging, but they're very, very descriptive and long, and it just takes this dude a long time to write. He's no spring chicken.
Sure.
So, in my opinion, it'll never be finished.
Okay. So
something I heard about his writing, he still uses like Word Perfect on an old DOS computer. That's what I heard about him.
Word Perfect.
He's still using that old Word Perfect, kind of like 486. That's all I know about what he's done.
Has he done other work?
I know he's done a lot of spin-offs. When I say spin-offs, like novellas in the same universe, I guess.
Yeah.
Maybe not along the same timeline, maybe before, maybe after. And they're not like, like Star Wars, we talk about the prequels and the sequels, they all kind of intertwine. But his stuff is just like in the same universe, doesn't really run into anybody else.
Gotcha. Okay. Gotcha. So he's the only one who's responsible for this canon, and so would the show be better to start with than the books at this point? Because
honestly, okay. When you get on like Reddit and places on the internet, people get very superior when they're book readers.
They're like, actually, in the book,
right? Actually, in the books, you got to have the regular Targaryen and the yeah, they do that. They're like that. But then when the show passed the books, they're like, well, they don't have anything to back their stuff.
Yeah, there's no ammo there.
It's like we've got everything. Y'all have nothing, book people. I say watch the show. There's 67 episodes of show, which would be, we'll just call it 70 hours of television, amazing television. Or you can have however long it takes to read 5 books.
That'd be a little bit longer. No doubt.
So it's about 70 hours to get through the whole series right now, about
roughly.
Well, that's not that bad.
No, it's definitely, it's not bad. I watched it all this year.
Okay.
My girlfriend and I started, I guess we started a year, sometime after the first of the year, and we were going to watch it all before it started. So, and we made it barely. We made it by about 3 days, but we weren't really just breaking our neck to do it. We weren't watching more than 1 episode a day, and it wasn't real rush. So, but it was definitely better the second time. Okay. Because there's so many characters and so many things going on that I was watching it, and the people that show up later in the show that I didn't realize they were in season 1, or I didn't realize they were in season 2, and they're prominent figures now. If you are going to watch the show, I will tell you one thing: don't get emotionally attached to anyone, because there's no such thing as plot armor. Everybody can die at any moment.
I heard that about that show. I hear it get compared to The Walking Dead a lot with that.
Well, The Walking Dead, there's like Carl and Rick Grimes, and they have plot armor. They're not going to die. There's the show's about them. There's no such thing in Game of Thrones. Anybody can die at any minute, and they will.
Yeah.
There'll be a lot of moments where you're going,
wait, what?
They killed that dude. They killed her. They killed that guy.
I watched the show. I watched it a lot, and I was watching it this year, and there was a guy that he was in the the jaws of death, and I'm going, no, you can't kill him because he's one of my favorite characters. But luckily, he survived. So
for now, done
for now.
Dun,
Oh yeah, for
dun.
now. I'm sure he'll be dead by the time it's over with.
Or is there- little things I know. There's a little person in the show.
Absolutely, there
That little
is
guy.
Tyrion Lannister.
Character.
It's Peter Dinklage.
Okay.
Dinklage. That's
yeah.
so fitting.
He's one of my favorite characters in the show. He is extremely smart. He enjoys wine and brothels.
All right.
He's wine and what? Brothels?
Brothels.
Yeah.
Okay.
He is like I said, he's because he was small stature in a great family. He had to kind of learn how to use his intellect instead of being able to fight because obviously he can't fight. He's a dwarf. But he's definitely one of the most interesting characters because he is so sharp, and he's got a really cool character arc over the course of the show.
I think the proper term is little people now. Little
Well,
person.
in the show, they call him a dwarf, so I'm calling him a dwarf. They call him an imp too. I'll call him an imp.
An imp. Ooh, I'm fighting words. He was in some other movies as well. This isn't his first.
Oh no, he's an elf.
Yeah. Oh well, there you go. Charles, you're about to ask something. Looked like.
Go ahead, Charles.
I figure out what that some other characters that I've seen. There's that one person, blonde, short hair. She got the crown.
Oh, that's Cersei Lannister. She, we'll talk about that after the 9 o'clock hour. We'll get into some spoilers.
Okay.
So, but yeah, that's Cersei Lannister. She is Robert Baratheon's wife. Somewhere along the line, she cut her hair, and yeah, she's queen. She was the one that was banging her brother.
Okay.
And a girl, get into it.
I mean, yeah, keep it in the family.
I've seen little bits and pieces of all this, but I don't know.
Oh.
But
Really?
not the whole thing. Well, just little things.
Well, let me pose a question to you, gentlemen. What would you be looking for in a show? What can I tell you about this that'll make you go, you know what, I do need to take the time?
Something that's not too slow.
Oh, it's not slow. There's not season 5 is pretty slow.
Okay.
Comparatively speaking, it's the hardest one to get through. But that's, if you just do it like when we're given the show on TV, it's an hour a week, once a week. So you look forward to it every week for 10 episodes. And then you have to take the whole year off and then till you get 10 more.
So was that like a kind of a downer with season 5? Like, oh man, that's it? That was lame.
Well, no, it really wasn't a downer. I mean, there's still stuff going on. I'm just saying it's the slowest one out of all of them.
Okay.
There's something, somebody's going to die and something's going to happen in every season.
All right. I like a show that doesn't have a long, drawn out introduction.
Well, you're talking about the opening credits or introduction, or
just like a lot of times, like, to give an analogy, a lot of RPGs I play, sometimes the story doesn't really start to get going until you're good 2-3 hours in. Sometimes longer.
Episode 1, season 1, you hit the ground running.
Good. Okay, that's what I like.
Things happening immediately, and things continue to happen through the entire course of the show. Now, there's different storylines that build and ebb and flow and things like that, but
yeah,
there's always something going on, and you will always have your attention.
All right, cool.
I can tell you, man, if you have time and you just want to pick up a show to watch, maybe you want to sit down once a week or 2 or 3 times a week, whatever, this is the show for you. It is the best show in the history of television, and if you don't agree with me, you're wrong.
Well, we were talking about it at work, and someone said, yeah, do you watch it? I'm like, no, I just don't have HBO. So some time goes by later. He says, hey, man, I may have a way to get you all the episodes if you want to get me a USB drive. I'm like, oh, okay, sure.
There you go. Now you're in business.
So I'm worried about the spoiler section of OPB right now, though. That's what I'm saying. Get one.
Well, okay. Well, we can if if people don't want the spoilers, I mean, even though they're coming in about 4 minutes. About 4 minutes.
Should I leave?
No, actually, I'll tell you what. Yeah, I'll tell you. If anybody doesn't want to be spoiled, go ahead and turn this off now. If you haven't watched Game of Thrones 1 through 7, I'm going to drop just drop knowledge bombs here in just a second, because I'm excited about the show, and I want, even if I tell you about it, it still won't do it justice. You still need to see it. How about that?
Okay.
All right.
So if you don't want it, turn it off now. But if you do, stick around, because Daddy's about to tell you all about it.
Spoilers.
This is about to get spoiled heavy. I probably ought to do. Can we still do that thing where you put the banner at the bottom?
Banner at the bottom.
Yeah,
What do you mean?
On the Hangout, on the video.
Oh, I haven't done that in years.
Yeah,
Well, me neither.
We used to have little. There's always a number top of it. We used to have little banners at the bottom, names and all that. But I guess we got.
It doesn't work anymore.
Hangout Toolbox, is that it?
I don't know. To heck with it. Don't even worry about it. Hey, the lower third. There it is. Tagline. Here we go. Display name. Spoilers.
Ooh,
this is not good. This is not good podcast right here.
Hey, they can't. Hey, if we have if it's all 99% of it's good, I'm happy.
It's part of our shtick. We have some issues.
Yeah, some nonsense.
Oh yeah, listen. Oh yeah,
look at that.
Look at
Spoilers.
Spoilers.
That's spelled right. Good job.
All right.
All
so,
right.
All right,
season
exclamation points.
Oh yeah, I got it. Good, because we're gonna spoil the piss out of this, man. Now seriously, guys, if y'all stop me if you don't want to hear all this, but I'm gonna catch you up to what we're doing now. All right, season 1. What kind of happens is, Robert ends up. He asked Ned to come down to King's Landing. Going to be the hand of the king. Good old Ned, our buddy Eddard, we call him Ned. He gets to poking around. He gets to poking his nose where he doesn't need it to be.
Mm-hmm.
And he steps on some toes and he finds out some things. He finds out like that the prince, or the two princes and the princess, might be little incest love babies.
A menage a trois?
No, not menage a trois. Just incest love babies.
Okay.
Because the queen's banging her brother.
Ah.
Yeah. I told you, man. Intrigue.
So it's happened a bit.
So it's happened for years, apparently. They've been banging since the womb. They're twins.
Twins?
Twins. They've been railing since day one. So
my word.
Oh yeah.
That takes 20 to a whole new level.
Yeah, it was Anyway, so old Ned finds out that he just decides that, well, these two are definitely banging, and they're these kids are bastard babies. They're not princes and princesses. So they have no claim to the throne. So that ends up getting good old Ned gets the axe. I really kind of feel bad for spoiling this for y'all, because this is really good stuff and I really want you to watch it, but I'm going to anyways because reasons.
Should I mute my mic?
No, you're good. Just suffer. Just suffer.
I'll listen to the turf review instead of the actual show.
Well, if you really don't want me to, I won't. I mean,
no, you're on fire right now. Look at you go. So
John Aaron died. He gets killed. Ned finds out that the previous hand, there was a plot to kill him. He finds out that the prince and princesses are little bastard babies. Well, that things get out of hand. Then good old Robert, he goes out hunting, and somebody puts a little something in his wine and slows him down, and the stag that he's hunting, or maybe it's the boar that he's hunting, anyways, the animal he's hunting kills him. Gets him in the gut.
So it's an accident.
So it's an accident. He has a hunting accident. Well, so the king's dead. Then next thing we know, people think that maybe the crown, some of the more influential people in town, they set Ned up to make it look like he's going to that he's trying to take the throne for himself. Well, pardon.
Oh, poor thing. He's suffering through us for the sake of OPB.
So
you got this.
Yeah, I got this. So now we've got the Stark girls are in King's Landing. Ned's had his head chopped off. Things are just looking bad for the Starks. Well, Tyrion Lannister is on the road, and Catelyn Stark, Ned's wife, captures him. Well, let me back up. That was before Ned got his head cut off. They captured him. So they're trying to bargain the dwarf for Ned. They end up killing Ned, and then they let the little midget go. And that starts the War of the Five Kings, which turns out to be a big thing. We've got Ned Stark's oldest son, Robb, they've declared him king of the north. King of the north. They have a very Scottish accent.
I think I'm about to say king of the north.
No, in the north, up north. But he's king of the north. Then we've got Renly Baratheon, which is Robert's brother. We have Stannis Baratheon, that's Robert's other brother. They're all three going for the throne. We have the Lannisters, Joffrey Baratheon, which is the love child, the incest love baby. That's freaking psychotic. He's a teenage boy that's really cruel.
Mm-hmm.
So he's a monster. So he's on the throne, and then we've got this guy Balon Greyjoy that's just hanging out up in the Iron Islands, which is another part. So we've got 5 people saying, "No, motherfucker, I'm the king. I'm the king around here." So that breaks off into a giant war that lasts about 3 seasons.
Oh wow, okay.
And this whole time, Daenerys is over there in this other part of the world building an army. That got kind of slow because she was building an army for a long time. But she's got the Dothraki horde, these guys on horses with no shirts on that have curved swords. Oh, it'd be something to be into. All right. And these gentlemen, they're war type people. So we've got them. She's building up an army with them. She gets the Unsullied, which is this extremely disciplined army of eunuchs.
Mm-hmm.
So we've got them on board, and then we get some other people. I think that's it. I don't know. We get some more people, and she's freeing slaves and things like that, and she's building her army and building her size over there in this other on Essos, the other continent, getting ready to trying to get her a fleet so she can sail across.
So she's like getting amped up for some meddling.
Well, she's going to take the throne by force. That's her. Pardon me. That's her goal. She's going to take it by force. So she's over here grinding and leveling up before she hops on a boat and comes on and takes.
Well played. So
that's what she's doing, and she does that for a while. And there's some more intricacies to that. When she gets married or she's gifted to Khal Drogo, somebody gives her a wedding gift of some dragon eggs.
Mm-hmm.
Well, through magic and other means and fire and whatnot, dragons are born. They little baby dragons, and they're cute. They ride on her shoulder like a little lizard parrot thing. And
I love little baby dragons.
They keep getting bigger. They keep getting bigger, and they keep getting bigger. And now these little sons of bitches are like the size of jet airplanes. And they breathe fire, and they burn up whole armies. So we're good. We've got a force. At this point, Daenerys has been over doing her own thing, but she is a force to be reckoned with now.
So, like, these dragons, do they like obey their master? They're like obedient little pets.
They're like they're her children, is what the way she explains it. Is that she's their mother and they're her children. So, yes,
listen to your mama.
There was a time then when they were kind of angsty teenagers.
Nice.
Just like a dog or anything else that would any kind of animal when they're growing up, you have to kind of pop their leash every now and then, or they don't pay attention type deal.
Yeah, respect.
You didn't have your place, I guess. So she had to maintain being leader of the pack. They got to be angsty teenagers for a little while, but they came around, and now they're mama's babies. So that's what she's been doing. We've had the War of the Five Kings. We've had red weddings. We've had purple weddings. We've had people die. People get their heads cut off. We had Ramsay Bolton. He takes over Winterfell at one point. That was the Starks' home. All the Starks have been kicked out. So he's
bye.
Yeah. Well, Robb was off at war. The girls were gone. Bran, with his broken legs, ran away, and Rickon, the youngest one, ran away for a while. So they're all gone, and they're all trying to do their own their own thing through various missions and whatnot. Not really missions, but the girls are trying, like Sansa, the oldest girl, is trying. She had a really shitty run. She probably had the shittiest run of it. It involved like a lot of rape and a lot of being married off to people. She's been married off twice to people.
Poor thing.
So, yeah, she seems like such a sweetheart, but she's just so dumb. God love her. She's just so dumb.
Bless her heart, but
bless her heart.
That's what they say in the South.
She had big aspirations to be the queen, and that kind of shot herself in the foot. And then, man, it's so big and so vast. I'm not even doing a good job of explaining it.
So is the entire premise of this whole thing, someone wants to rule this country from that Stark? Was it Starkholm? Is that what you?
No, the Starks are the family from the north. That's the good guys.
And everyone wants their kingdom.
Well, they were in the north. They just there's 7 kingdoms that make up Westeros, the land that everybody wants to rule.
Okay.
And the north being one of them. Then they were like the wardens of the north. Eddard was in the beginning of it. And their family traditionally runs the north. And then King's Landing has the Iron Throne, and that's the big chair made out of swords that you've seen and stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And that's what everybody wants. And then there gets to be like really crazy shit starts happening.
Okay, gotcha.
Okay, now I'm gonna slow down a little bit because I've kind of horribly explained like the political side of it. And people everybody's vying for the throne. Everybody wants to be in charge. Everybody wants to rule the world. Okay, everybody wants to rule the world. But up north, past that wall I was talking about, that the Night's watches over.
Mm-hmm.
There's them old dead bastards up north there. This dude named the Night King. He's called a White Walker. He doesn't really talk. He's hanging out up there. He doesn't get cold apparently. He raises people from the dead, so zombies are on his side. I told you, shit gets crazy.
Yeah.
It I told you in the very beginning, it really eased you into fantasy. Like, oh, she's got some dragons. That's cool. Then, next thing you know, we got this
necromancer.
Dude. Yeah, this necromancer dude that's raising people from the dead. And next thing you know, we got giants and mammoths. And yeah, so it gets very very Lord of the Rings fantasy.
This sounds a lot like Dark Souls, like in television form.
You can tell you what, and I didn't know this till the other day. I didn't realize it, but you can go watch the trailer for World of Warcraft. What about the Lich King or something like that? The Reign of the Lich King, and it's very Games of Thrones-y.
Ooh, okay.
Just the visuals are very reminiscent of this last season. So up north of the wall, we've got these whites and these White Walkers. The White Walkers are the dudes that are like the supernatural kind of guys that can raise people from the dead, and they ride on like zombie horses and stuff. And then the whites are like the zombies. They're like the pawns, the foot soldiers. They die, the people they raise from the dead. So we've got the whites.
I think I've seen those before. A friend of mine cosplayed as one for one time. Yeah, so she was selling it.
So we've got this going on up north, and then like Jon Snow, through reasons and things that I won't spoil, he manages to be king of the north. And he's got all the houses of the north following him. Even though he's a bastard, people decided he's he's like an actual, doesn't have any title or anything, bastard.
Oh, little like bastard. Not a jerk.
Not a jerk. No, he's the good guy. He's very brooding. Always really upset, really troubled all the time.
Like pensive, pondering.
He's not angry. He's just brooding. He's just very, very troubled all the time. So he winds up being king of the north, and then he's going to try to get everybody. He's like, listen, y'all, we got them dead bastards coming down, and they're going to kill us all. They're going to kill us all.
They're going to kill us dead.
You need to come up here and help me kill them dead bastards again, because they need to stay dead. But
I wish the show was actually like this.
They actually say that, like, yo, they're going to kill us all.
And scene.
No.
Now, what I want you to do is I want you to sound like an urban something from the southern United States. All right, y'all. I'm be from the trailer park. And them gonna kill us all. They gonna kill us all. Call your mama and them.
And ask him how she doing.
Tell your mama, say how you doing.
Go get Jethro.
Oh my god!
Yeah, it's gonna be. Or I said urban. I guess I should have said rural. I'm sorry.
We knew what you meant.
Yeah, it's a trailer park. Anyways, so we got them dead bastards coming down. Jon Snow's going up. He's going down south, trying to tell everybody, like, listen, hey, Dragon Lady, I need your help. Them dead bastards up there. Hey, people in the capital and the kings and queens, them dead bastards are gonna kill us all if you don't come up here. So that's kind of where we're at now.
Interesting. Okay.
Yeah, like the dragons are huge now, so that's cool. Daenerys is around with her giant dragons, and she's burning folks up because she's like a honey badger, man. She didn't give a shit.
So like these dragons. Oh, go ahead. Sorry, Charles.
So she's pretty much got a fleet of Trogdors.
Well, Trogdor was a man. He was a dragon man. Maybe he was just a dragon.
Trogdor.
But still, he was Trogdor. He was the Burninator. She's got Drogon and Viserys and Rhaegon, maybe? I don't know. I can't remember.
So she has 3 dragons at her command?
She's got 3 dragons that burn shit up.
That they're just for her, right? Like, these are my dragons. And
she rides on one, and the other 2 kind of hang out.
That is bad. I don't know who this woman is, but this bitch is fierce. I want to be friends with her.
She always ride on the same one, or she just switch them up?
No, she apparently, this is part of the lure. The book readers know this. The book readers know this stuff.
Actually,
the Targaryens are the only family that are they're said to have dragon blood in them, and they're the only family that can ride dragons. And now, once a Targaryen bonds with a dragon, they can only ride that one dragon.
Okay.
There's never been anybody that rode more than one dragon. So when Aegon the Conqueror came over from the first time, 500 years ago or whatever, he was riding a dragon, and he had each one of his sisters on a dragon, and so the 3 of them came in and burned shit up.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Whenever I hear Targaryen, I think of like they're people who shop at Target all the time.
They're not the Target Aryans?
Targaryens.
The Targaryens.
I don't know.
The Walmartians.
That's the other.
The Walmartians are the lower class. They're lower than the Targaryens.
Then where do the Menardians fit in?
I don't even know what that is. They're from up north.
Who should?
The Jewel-Oscoans.
So, man, there's so much to this show. I
was going to ask, like, I need to start with season 1, episode 1. Don't jump in.
1. It's one of those shows that builds on itself, and it's just got a story to tell. Just do it, man. It is absolutely the best show in the history of television, and I will put my word on that.
All right.
So, one clip I have seen, which like someone showed for our film class, showing like most moving scenes, he's showing that red wedding scene. Is that one scene that can pretty much sum up of Game of Thrones is about?
Okay, so if you know about the red wedding, I'm not going to spoil the red wedding.
I don't know what that means. So I'm not
the
sure
red wedding is the biggest whiskey tango foxtrot moment in Game of Thrones, I think.
Okay.
I didn't see it coming at all, and most people didn't either. It's known as the red wedding. I mean, it is a scene that it will live in infamy and forever in television.
Okay.
So yeah, that sums it up all very well. The red, Charles asked if the red wedding summed up the whole show. Yes, it did.
So Charles, you've seen this clip then already?
Yeah, it is out on YouTube's. If you guys want to check it out, don't care about spoilers.
I don't know. Like, I might because I'm curious, but at the same time, like, if I actually do get access to all the episodes, I'm kind of want to start from the beginning to see the build up.
If you sat down and you watched it all, I would hate to spoil you. I really would.
Yeah. Sure.
Because there are plenty of those moments that you go, oh wow, Wow, that just happened.
Okay. I can't think of the last show that did that to me. Maybe like How to Get Away with Murder. I had one of those moments, but in this show, it sounds like they happen all the time. Like all the time.
Well, not. I'd say every season has at least one good one.
Yeah.
That you really didn't think was going to happen. I've kind of like the big one in season 1. Obviously, I spoiled already when I said Ned got his head
figured
cut
that
off.
was going to happen anyway, just based on the show's premise.
Yeah, but like when they did the show and all the promotional stuff, Sean Bean was the face of it, and then here we are, like episode 8, and the good guy was getting his head cut off.
Bye, Felicia.
Yeah, bye, Felicia. That set the tone for everything. It's like, dude, if the good guy's not safe, who is?
No one's safe.
Yeah.
Love it. Did they make a Game of Thrones video game yet, or no?
Telltale did an excellent video game.
All right.
It's set between seasons 4 and 5.
Okay.
And you take control of a very minor house, and it's a story that like the events are happening of the show are happening around them, but they don't show up in the show. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it was fun. I enjoyed it.
All right. Well, what system was it for?
It was Steam, PS4, Xbox One.
Okay, so it's current.
It's current gen. It was a Telltale game, so it's that point and click adventure type decision making more than anything. Almost a visual storybook.
Okay, gotcha. Sweet. Lots to catch up on. I am interested. You've intrigued me. Like, even though I know some stuff I know is going to happen, like I'm still kind of curious to see the rest of it play out. I want to learn more about this Red Wedding and Purple Wedding and everything else you mentioned. Yeah, so I
really wish y'all would, just so I have more people to talk about.
I know how that goes.
Like me and my buddies at work, that's like the Monday morning thing. Like, dude, did you
see Game of Thrones?
Yeah.
Like, no, I did. Don't tell me about it.
Well, no, that's kind of the known rule in our office is if you haven't watched it, you have to leave because we're talking about it. You go find something else to do.
That's how it was with Breaking Bad back in one of my other workplaces. So
it's like my buddy's a big Walking Dead fan, so just don't tell her what's going on.
They all die in the end.
In Walking Dead, yeah, everyone dies in Walking Dead. Yeah, she gets emotional, and like our roommate, when she would be watching it, Doc had to run out there and comfort her
because she would be screaming at the television.
And Doc's like, "Oh, it's okay."
He was so upset when she would scream.
But, so I mean, that's a kind of a good primer. Maybe some of my excitement maybe rubbed off on y'all and maybe intrigued you just a little bit. Like I said, it is my favorite show I've ever seen, and I hate that it's coming to an end. Like they've already put the expiration dates on it.
Yeah, sure.
But at the same time, I enjoy that because it's still hitting on all cylinders. It's not like my personal opinion, Walking Dead kind of jumped the shark a couple seasons ago. And
really?
It lost me. I was in, man. I was Walking Dead every Sunday night, and then I got like 5 episodes behind last season and had to catch up just because I didn't care. This one it's going to go out on top. We've got 6 episodes in the whole series left, so they've done it right. The whole thing's been good.
That's awesome.
Sounds like a very BBC type, show. You had six episodes, per season, and that's it.
Well, the first 6 seasons had 10 episodes.
Okay.
And then season 7 had 6 or 7 episodes, and then season 8 will have 6 episodes.
Okay. Wow.
It'll be done.
And I did know one of the actresses, but she was a pretty big character in Doctor Who.
Really?
Maisie Williams.
Maisie Williams was really.
She was in Doctor Yep.
That's Arya Stark.
Yep. A good, pretty pivotal character in Doctor Who.
Okay.
So,
see, I didn't
crossover.
I didn't know that anybody other than Sean Bean. I I didn't know anybody was in anything else at all.
She was in one of the more recent series.
Oh wait, I take that back. You remember in Last Action Hero, the bad guy with he was the hitman, had like the glass eye. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
God, I haven't seen Last Action Hero in a long time.
He's in it, and the only reason I say that, I watched Last Action Hero a lot when I was a kid. I loved it. And then I saw that
drives his truck through the theater.
And then I saw the dude that was the hitman in there, and he's on Game of Thrones, and wow, that's all. I can't unsee it. That's all I can see.
He's that guy. That's awesome.
He's probably been in a ton of stuff, but that's what I know him from.
Like any other, is it mainly British actors who are?
Well, let's see. Peter Dinklage is American. It's mostly British actors. Everybody, because in any kind of fantasy thing, everybody has to have a British accent. That's just a rule. I mean, it doesn't matter where it's set. If it's in a fantasy world, or if it's in Rome, or if it's it doesn't matter. If it's in ancient Greece, they all have British accents.
If it's in Oklahoma, I mean,
yeah.
Never ending story. They all have British accents, pretty much.
That's like an unwritten rule, I think.
Yeah, they do.
I don't know. But they all do have British accents, and most of them are British actors or Scottish actors.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Cool. Well, Trev, you really I was like kind of on the edge, but you got me to go off the edge and get into this series. I'm gonna find myself a little USB jump drive thingy. I'm gonna give it to my coworker. He's gonna hook me up. I'm gonna try to binge watch as much as I can, and when I do, I will let you know, because
please let me know. I
stuff to discuss.
Love talking about this stuff. I love going, oh, that happened. Oh, I love that. That's a great moment.
Yeah, it might be interesting for you too. I might catch things you might have missed or something like that as well. So
we've been kicking around the idea of even watching it again, because it's
right on.
That's kind of like mine and my girlfriend. That's our show. We made time to watch it, so we're kind of like, we were kicking around the idea like maybe we'll just start over and watch it again. I don't know.
Sure. It's not that bad.
Oh, it's great. It's excellent, man. I could watch it over and over and catch new stuff every time. Right on.
Well, my friends, we are running close to the hour mark. Charles, do you have any final comments for Turf about this?
No. I've always wanted to try to get into Game of Thrones, but I just haven't had the time.
Mm-hmm.
One episode at a time, man. You've got an hour a week that you just blow. So just sit down and do it.
In between all the classes and studying.
Yeah, you got
between classes. You can just play on your phone or something. So, so there you go. Well, Turf, I want to thank you for giving us such a detailed synopsis of all things Game of Thrones. That was really interesting. Well done. And you
go ahead.
Fought your cold while you did it too, so that's even more impressive.
Well, that's because I had to be here for this one. I was not missing this episode because I've been putting stuff on the Facebook page all week, since last week, saying that and Twitter saying it's Game of Thrones this week. Y'all be sure to check it out. So I've been really excited for this one.
Well, speaking of Facebook, that is one of the many ways you can interact with us. But are there other ways you can talk to us? Well, Turf, I think I want to give your voice a quick break and let Charles do the
y'all
do the
go
outro.
right ahead.
All right, Charles, I'll let you do it.
So it's on Facebook. We're also on Twitter at OPB Podcast. You can email us at opbpodcast@gmail.com. What else? We got an Instagram, but our Instagram is chock full of so much of nothing. We got to do more on our Instagram.
I'm going to put out Instagram right now.
You put this on Instagram? Okay, I think this is our first Instagram post.
All right.
Oh no, we had several at Louisville.
Do we? Oh yeah, I remember.
That was a good picture, Turf, by the way. Nice. That was nice.
You can watch us on the YouTubes. We've got videos on one of those sides over there. You can comment below. I know if I point down. Where's my camera? You can point down, and you comment, like, subscribe. To get more videos, keep updated on what we're doing. You can listen to us wherever you can download podcasts. Like Google Play, Stitcher, iTunes, iHeartRadio.
Space.
What else are we on?
Well, SoundCloud still, is that still around or no?
SoundCloud is still around for the time being.
Okay, and
SoundCloud. I know probably on some other places too, which we don't know. If you find us something, let us know where we are so we could continue to plug that podcasting service.
All right.
Like
Is that all of them?
Talking Head song. Where am I?
I think
I
so.
got everything. I think so.
All right. Well, thank you for that, Charles, and thank you, Turf, for putting for exercising your voice, and despite your raspy condition, you persevered and gave us everything we need to know about Game of Thrones.
Well,
that was awesome.
I'm hoping everybody enjoyed it. I hope I turned on at least one person to the show, and if
I
it's
could change
somebody,
one life.
yeah, if I can just touch one life, I hope I turned at least one person onto it, and I hope somebody that finds it enjoys it as much as I did.
Absolutely.
It's great, man, and there's a huge community of people that are into it. You could check Reddit, and it's insane the theories people get into.
Well, that is awesome. Lots to look forward to. I'm excited to get into it. And if you want to comment on this video, let us know what your favorite Game of Thrones moment was. But until then, we are going to have to sign off for now, and we are going to have a lovely new episode for next week, which I'm already excited about. I'm not sure what the topic's going to be, but it's going to be fun. But so we are going to say goodbye tonight, and that's all I got. So until then, take care of yourselves, and we will see you next week on OPB.